preparing for today's sermon, I stumbled several times over the sentence, "Sorry, preacher, but this week's sermon text is one of the hardest." And reading it and hearing it like you just did, you probably agree. It's gruesome and it's confusing. There's talk of exorcisms, and there is Jesus saying things that are outrageous or logically incoherent. Salt that lost its saltiness? That's just not possible. Salt is a rock. But why is this supposed to be a hard text to preach on? I've thought a lot about it and come to the conclusion it's not hard because it's confusing. When Jesus says weird things that don't seem to make a lot of sense, that's usually a very good indicator to do some research and dive into language and commentaries and history. That takes time. Might be annoying, sure, but it's not hard. No, I think it's hard because the message is an unpopular one. One that people, you, don't want to hear. And that in consequence, I, the preacher, don't want to preach. Because I like it when you like what I say, right? Jesus' speech is triggered by John saying to him, "Teacher, we saw someone casting out demons in your name, and we tried to stop him because he was not following us." I can really picture John confidently going to Jesus and saying, "Hey, boss, just to let you know, there was another guy pretending to do work for you, but he actually didn't have a membership. So we took care of it. We handled it. No worries. We told him to get lost." And Jesus' face goes blank. And he says, "You still don't get it, do you? Even if I don't know this person by name or ever met him or talked to him, casting out demons from sick people, that's a good thing. Doing it in my name, even better. Why would you stop him?" Well, maybe it's because just a few verses prior in the text, the disciples failed themselves to cast out a demon from a boy, and they had to wait for Jesus to come and do it. But Jesus doesn't say that out loud. Instead, he says, "Doing a deed of power in my name transforms the doer. The person will not be able to speak evil of me. Whoever is not against us is for us." And then Jesus gets started and gives them a shockingly detailed prospect of what happens if you put a stumbling block in front of these little ones or themselves. "If you hinder others in following me, it is better for you to hang a millstone around your neck and drown in the sea. And if your hand or foot or your eye causes you to stumble over yourself in your faith journey, better get rid of them. Because in the end, you might have an unscathed body, but what about your soul? What about your faith?" Jesus paints a drastic picture, and summed up, it means death. And according to Jewish teachings at that time, death, as the opposite of life, meant the absence of God, a godless place. So if you hinder others to live their faith and nurture their connection to God, you force them on a path that leads into a godless place. And if you hinder yourself, you'll end up there too. Maybe with an unmaimed body, but not with an unscathed soul. The place you could end up was called Gehenna, a valley used as a garbage dumpster near Jerusalem, and a place where a couple of centuries earlier forbidden human sacrifices happened. Gehenna came to mean hell as the place of eternal punishment and suffering. But Jesus is not really calling on his disciples to mutilate themselves. He is trying to get their attention. Get your priorities right now, it's time. Because his notion about his own imminent death has just been confirmed to him during the Transfiguration. And now he's on his way to Jerusalem to meet his fate. There's not much time left, and the disciples really need to understand now. I'm not sure it was successful, though. I honestly think he might have confused him even more with that speech. And now we come to the hard part of the sermon. Look around you in your pews and see who is sitting here. And now look around and see who is not sitting here. Think about all the different people that live on this planet who are not in this room. Are they not here because they don't want to be? Or are they not here because we put stumbling blocks on their way to church? Actually, I don't think we're doing better or worse than the disciples that knew Jesus. Whoever is not against us is for us. We still don't do it well. Whoever isn't for us is against us comes more naturally. Maybe that's just human. That's just our reality. We're quick to judge. We like to feel superior, feel Schadenfreude about someone's failure or struggle. We compare. We like to keep to ourselves because then we don't have to deal with too many inconvenient reflections or questions. We like to feel reassured in what we do. And we also like to keep things easy, socially, culturally, politically, institutionally, and theologically. The less we differ, the less we have to explain, and the more united and the stronger we are. In a congregation, in a neighborhood, at work. But we are also able to learn and to love and to have faith. So there's room for improvement and reason to hope. Because Jesus challenges us to leave our comfort zone and to love like he loved. Namely, whoever is not against us, and even those. Jesus excludes no one from God's love. Whoever doesn't oppose the beautiful and salvific works of God, mercy, love, kindness, justice, liberation, peacemaking, healing, nurturing, is on Jesus' side. And our work is to welcome them, host them, include them, and love them. So, whom do we not see here in our midst, and why? And what stumbling blocks do we have to remove to welcome them? Jesus excludes no one from God's love. And there is enough of God's love to share with everyone.